Welcome everybody, welcome to my site, Tomb of Illumination, patreon.com, Lindsay Harris, if you're interested in more of this information. I don't put much up on YouTube these days because it doesn't seem to go anywhere and they restrict it all anyway. And I just took a screenshot of one comment today. We had all the Globe opponents jump on my site all of a sudden overnight, about 9 of them, and they start getting quite rude, so I get rude back, and then one guy comes back and says, "Oh, you just throw insults, do it again and it'll be the end of your YouTube channel." So my reply to that was, oh yeah, so you control, so you Globetarts control the narrative and free speech. I didn't know that. So it's quite obvious the people who run all these sites are all controlled under the one umbrella, and it's all based on lies. Over here we talk about the truth. So today's video is about trying to make the comparisons between globe theory and flat earth facts. Okay, so we're going to talk about retrograde and what's the other one? Retrograde and I haven't got all the photos here. Well, we'll get into it as we go along, okay? So it's just a quick run over. So we've got the ecliptic plane here, right? So look, they're all concentric circles. But your science, the globe theory, tells you they all do ellipses. Okay? You know why they come up with this ellipse idea? It's because they don't realise this is false. What's actually happening in reality is the sun isn't at the centre, the black hole is at the centre, and the sun is on its horizon. All these planets do circles, right? Well look, the sun's the first circle. The first concentric circle is right on the horizon of the black hole. The sun moves around it. They don't tell you any of that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the difference here. So we'll go back to their silly model. We'll put the sun at the centre. Okay. So there's a planned view of the Earth. If you could look down at the way the magnetic field works, it just spirals out of the centre Arctic. All of creation comes out of the centre Arctic. Check out my earlier videos. Okay, that we know this in celestial navigation, the stars do this over the night. So it's the golden ratio, the Fibonacci. Okay. It all comes out of a central vortex, and inside the vortex is the S cycle, S curve, but then has to come back up. So the S curve actually creates, if you look down on a 2D image, it's a golden ratio. So S curve goes down and it's got to come back up. So there's another golden ratio. You put two golden ratios together, you get a cardinoid. It's the cardinoid is 720 degree. So a magnetic cycle is 720 degrees. Just show you a post I just put up on TikTok. Right. How many people understand the Earth's 720 degrees magnetic field cycle? Or the 720 degree electron spin, the 720 degrees torus field cycle / infinity cycle, the central vortex of creation, 720 degrees S curve cycle, up then down, a cardioid cycle being 720 degrees and its half cycle being a golden ratio, half spin, electron half spin. The moon's zodiac cycle being a 720 degree cardioid. You're not taught that at school. I know that much. So let's get into this retrograde. So I took a couple of screenshots offline here. This occurs when Earth, this is globe theory, this occurs when Earth on its faster inside orbit, so they're talking about faster orbits on the inside track here. So they don't tell you that the sun, like I just drew before, is the fastest of all these concentric circles. This is where all the energy comes from, out of the center. So nothing can pass the sun if they're on the outside tracks and they're slower, because all the energy is in here. The sun has the most energy. Obviously it's going to go faster in here than these planets out here. So that's why nothing can actually pass the sun. The sun catches up to lap them. That's the true retrograde delusion, illusion. So back to globe theory, it's the faster inside orbit catches up to and passes Saturn. Now, this occurs when Earth, we've got to get this right, okay? So in globe theory, what they've done is, you know how I drew the black hole in here? Let's go back to there, okay? Flat Earth reality with the sun on the horizon. What nobody understood till I came along is this black hole here is where Earth is from. It's even written in the Hermes, one of those hermetics, Egyptian hermetics, that Earth is from the hole. So what they've done is they've replaced the hole. Okay, so there's the black hole. There's the black hole, okay? The bigger black hole with the sun there. And the sun moves around daily. And attached to the sun is the Milky Way. And it comes all the way out to our tropical boundary. The tropical gap is here. I haven't drawn the southern hemisphere, okay? Didn't need it. This is the first image out from creation. This is the northern hemisphere night sky. Then it's mirrored in projection. So you take one of these, mirrored here, one of the mirrored there, or it's mirrored there, and it's forever moving around. All the stars in the south move as this moves. It's sending the image around all the way around the south. Okay, so there's the northern hemisphere, and here's the tropical gap. Okay, so right in there. So this is our realm. So we imitate creation. So now everything that's happening back in the central vortex is cast out into our night sky, and during the day, well, you know, the black hole, the Milky Way, the core, the central point, is now expressed out here and becomes our tropical boundary. Okay, so the tropical boundary, this is where the sun, you know, physics tells you the sun is in here, the ecliptic plane's in here, and it wanders in and out. The sun wanders in and out of between Cancer and Capricorn. Well, in our understanding of science, capacitance, radiation, magnetic induction, the sun is created in here. And this is where we can assume we get the image of the sun. And this is where the Milky Way, it comes out and comes over to here where the sun is. Okay? And it moves in and out. Now the sun is only moving in and out because of magnetic contraction and expansion. Okay? The whole Earth moves in and out. Nothing is actually physical. Humans can't get their head around that, but that's reality, okay? And it works like a vortex. That's what a vortex does. For years we were taught the heart was a pump, but it's actually a vortex. It's different. Okay? And in the center of creation here we have a vortex. See the vortex? And there's the Milky Way coming out of it. So there's a side view of it. They're coming out, swinging around like this. And there's your sun. So you've got a day side and you've got a night side. The sun basically is tucked in like an eyeball in a socket. So there's a day side and a night side. I've done plenty of videos on that. Okay, so they don't tell you, they don't explain that the sun is moving, and what they've done is replaced it. Well, hang on, let's go back. What I was trying to say is that black hole there is the Earth. Okay, Earth is from the hole. So, and instead of the sun moving around it, they've got Earth here moving around the sun. Now, you just think a little bit, you can understand what's happening here, why things have turned out the way they are with this globe theory. Okay? So understand. So they're saying that because there's a sun there, and it's always moving, right, you'll get this elliptical cycle around the hole and around the sun. This is their globe theory BS. They have no idea what they're talking about. They've just made it fit. Made everything fit that sort of idea. And a lot of it does work out, but not everything. And it doesn't make common sense or have any relation to all the ancient myths and legends, all the religions, all the ancient philosophy. I break all that down. This is how I come to know everything, because that's where it's all written. And it's to be kept. Everybody puts their faith in religion, but they ignore the foundation, the guts of it, the core. They skim over it, take what they want. They're quite ignorant, most people. So, bear with me here. Okay, so back to this retrograde. So retrograde, this occurs when Earth, we're talking about Saturn here, we're using Saturn as an example, on its faster, this occurs when Earth, on its faster inside orbit, they put it up, they've drawn Earth here, okay, they put it out there because they put Mercury and Venus inside between the Sun and Earth. I'll do another video on that, because that's bonkers as well. Catches up to and passes Saturn. Okay, so I'll put Saturn out here, and Earth has come around and passed it. Okay, and it's between Saturn and the Sun. This causes Saturn to appear to move backwards against the background stars. Okay, so if the Sun comes around and passes it, then this looks like it's going back that way, doesn't it? Okay, well, this is exactly what I show when the Sun is passing the planets in the retrograde with the flat Earth system. So I'll probably go over that in a minute if I remember all this stuff. Okay, so Earth's come around because it's going this way, that looks like it's going that way. Backwards against the background stars, and then you've got to come down and understand what's all going on in the black hole here. And then just bear in mind, this is very complicated. Their system, they've just complicated it, and it's tricky to try and associate back to the flat Earth. Simple. Flat Earth is simple. It's like that. Everything is going in the one direction, but the Sun on the horizon of the black hole is the quickest. So it's catching up to everything. And because the Sun is so much quicker, it goes around and laps celestial bodies and doesn't quite lap them by the end of the year or a certain period. So people assume that it's slower and whatever's in front that it didn't quite catch is quicker. You know, this is connected to the hare and the turtle story, okay? I've done videos on that. Everything is there just going around, and the sun's going around as well. What's complicated about that? Nothing. But the globe theory has things going this way and that way. Look there. This going that way. That's going that way. The sun's going that way. Earth's turning that way. Stars going that way. Planets are going that way. It's alright. Everything is seen under man's arc of horizon. Okay? Going over his horizon. Okay? That's all we're concerned with. You can't see the rest of the world as far as physics is concerned. You are only dealing with this arc, 180 degrees. So there you know the size of the Earth, because look, 180 degrees times 60 nautical miles is 10,800 nautical miles. Well, there's one for each hemisphere. This is man's hemisphere. There's two, because there's two hemispheres to the Earth. There's one there and there's one out here. They're obviously different because the rotation of the celestial bodies are mirrored. So there's two hemispheres. All the globe has done is put them both together and plastered their continents on it. And you're led to believe you live on the outside of the spinning ball. So two hemispheres is the diameter of our Earth at the tropical boundary. It's not going to that for now because it's more information people can't flip and understand. So back here, phone keeps dying out. This causes Saturn to appear move backwards against the background stars. Okay. So if you have the sun here, you've got Saturn out here, because concentric circles off the black hole. So the sun's coming around, and because it shoots around here past Saturn, if you fix the sun, this starts looking like it's going that way. Okay? So this is the confusing thing. Earth is fixed and stationary. It's the sun that's moving. Earth is not moving. There's no evidence whatsoever that tells you that the Earth is moving. And it's so simple, the flat Earth model, to know everything is just moving around like this. This is the ecliptic plane on top of the vortex. There's the central vortex. There's that plane at the top. Everything down inside the vortex is also turning in the one direction, the same as this. Everything. These are stars in here and the moon cycle. That's what the moon does, a S cycle, a cardioid over the month. Okay? Appears to move backwards against the background stars for about 4 to 5 months each year. Approximately 140 days. So there you go. Every day, every year, the sun catches up. It's telling you the sun is catching up to pass Saturn. I'm going to get into their other motion. Anyway, yeah, so I've been putting videos out thinking their Saturn cycle, how many years it takes? 29 years or something. And all these other planets, when they say they take so many days to get around the sun, I was using that to explain retrograde in the flat Earth model. But it turns out, no, the sun is passing Saturn, all these planets, within the year. So then I went online and asked, hang on, well, where do they get these figures from for like 29 years for Saturn and blah, blah, blah. And then they take you back to old Kepler's law of motion and ellipses, and I think it's all mathematical. I don't think it's a visual thing at all. So I've got to go a bit deeper on that. It'll be another video. But anyway, so the sun catches up and passes Saturn every year, okay? And this is what creates the retrograde. Go check out my retrograde videos. If they're not on YouTube, they're over here on Patreon. The center of the retrograde period happens when Saturn is in opposition to the Sun. Okay, so we've got oppositions. It must have the Earth, the Sun, and Saturn. Saturn's in opposition because they put Earth in here. But in reality, there's the black hole, there's the Sun. Remember, Earth is from the hole, but I might have lost you already now. I haven't got a flat Earth model side elevation here. How can I describe that? Black hole. Well, just imagine, black hole, there's your Earth, there's the Sun going around it, and the Sun's over here, this is the day side. Is it? Like I said, it's hard to remember and try and compare the two to explain them both together. So that the Sun over here, as we pass Saturn, it appears to go in the opposite direction for a few weeks or a few months. Everything on the ecliptic plane is going in the same direction, the flat Earth model. Globe says stars go this way because the Sun is quicker. Flat Earth truth, see? They're telling you the stars are going this way. Hang on. What's this referring to? Well, yeah. I think they're saying the stars, I don't know, they're all going the same direction. What am I saying there? I don't know. Anyway, they're all going in the one direction, but the Sun will come around and catch up, passes the stars, or races, let's say there's a star there. Over there, the Sun will race right round and catch right up behind the star here. And because the star's ahead by 20 minutes at the end of the year, they think the stars are quicker than the Sun. Okay? So the stars are actually 3.54 minutes per day slower than the Sun. Check out my earlier videos. Okay, Saturn is lost in the light of the Sun for a few weeks every year. This means the Sun has caught up to Saturn and passes it once per year. That's solar conjunction, meaning Earth and Saturn are opposite. Earth and Saturn are opposite during the day, which is down here. If that's your day, this is day side, so we don't get to see the night, which is over here. So let's say you're on that's that side of the world, you're on this side now, so there's Saturn, and the Sun's directly over here. Because here's the Earth, here's flat Earth. So it's just an alignment with a particular time of the day when the Sun's there, right in line with Saturn. And there's, imagine that being Earth, the centre. You've got to understand, Earth, it's like this. There's your central vortex in here. There's the Arctic centre. There's your tropical boundaries. So you've got southern hemisphere, northern hemisphere, okay? That's a slice of the donut. Well, this black hole is right in here, okay? But all our created world here, which is this, has come out of that hole, okay? And that hole there is now imitated out here in the tropical boundaries for us, where everything's going on. It's a bit tricky trying to explain that, but it's, I'm trying to explain this situation with the globe theory and retrograde and conjunction. So it is way easier. So there's globe BS, putting the globe out there. Earth goes around the Sun once per year. Earth goes around the Sun once per year. So that's their globe theory BS. In reality, flat Earth, the Sun moves north and back south as the Earth's magnetic field contracts and expands. affecting the diaphragm we know as the ecliptic plane. The plane flexes up and in for the June solstice and down and out for the December solstice. You know, our heart has a diaphragm at the bottom. Creation's inverted, has the diaphragm at the top, which flexes down and then flexes back up and in, down and out, down and out, pushes the sun out to the southern hemisphere, Arctic 24-hour day, and then when it flexes back up like this, draws the sun into the northern Arctic 24-hour day. Creation is vertical, Earth sees it laterally. We see things come over us like this. It actually goes around the Earth, like it comes into your horizon. It's coming around the Earth, into your horizon, comes over your personal arc of horizon, and then out of your horizon as it's moving around the Earth. The sun here in the Milky Way is considered the elbow, the kneecap, or the boomerang. Well, there are three varying stories. The ancient cultures understood that the sun was there at the bend. Conjunction, globe theory, we are looking this way. Saturn is behind the sun. Nighttime, daytime. Yeah, I think I must have lost most people by now. On the day side aligns with Saturn. So we do not see it at night. Okay, we don't see it at night because we're on the day side here and Saturn is in an alignment with the sun. So that's when we can't see it. Okay? Because you've got two halves to consider, okay? You've got a night side and a sunny side. And the stars are all the way around the Earth. So I've probably confused people by putting it over there already. But they just represent the night side and the day side. All the stars are around here, so the planet is lost in the light of the sun here. Okay? Because the sun has come around to pass over it. The sun, here's the sun, it's come around to pass over Saturn here. Look, it's in the day side. At conjunction in the day's light. Okay? So there's your turning Earth. It would represent the Milky Way. I don't know why I drew that.